We live in a world where worth is very closely connected to productivity, and therefore we have the feeling that we need to be productive all the time to prove our worth and in order to become a better human. And that is why we often shame ourselves when we are less productive, or we simply don't have the energy to do something, or we're having a lack of motivation. However, motivation is something from a human design perspective that is meant to not be consistent, and we also need phases of rest and we need phases of a pause. So simply as humans, we're not set to consistently be productive, but for different reasons allow in little breaks, or allow a creative break, or allow our body to recover. And that is often when we push too hard, that's when we become sick, or that is when we get into burnout, because our body and our mind are taking back the time and the space to recuperate and recover. And in this video, I want to speak about procrastination and motivation, and I will guide you through all the steps on how not to even land there that you feel like you're getting forced to take a break, but you can actually fight the lack of motivation from a healthy place and come back into action from a really aligned standpoint. If you don't know me yet, my name is Leandra. I'm a human design expert and I also work in the holistic health space. And if you would like to work one-on-one with me, I give human design readings. I have a free app called Era where you can check out your human design. So check out all the links I have below. And if you would like to listen to even more videos that are exclusive, you can join my membership here. So you have even more videos and specifically on how to find your purpose. But let's get started. So we have 5 different energy types, and all of them are designed to interact with the world in a different way and to gain their energy through a different way, which we call strategy. And the baseline energy is also different for all of the types. So the first thing we need to acknowledge is that just because we're maybe full of energy all day and we're maybe super motivated to do things, that another person naturally has that setting as well. And vice versa, obviously. So when we go through all the 5 types, what we're going to do in a moment, we will check what actually gives them motivation and what you can do to not land even in a place of lack of motivation. So when we start with the generator types, I'm talking about generators and manifesting generators, they really get a lot of energy by really following what they truly love and what they came here to do. And that is coming from the sacral center, which means that once it's something comes in your field and your body, your sacral is responding with, I have energy available for this, or yes, I really clearly want to do this, that is your go. That is your moment when you should engage in something, because clearly your sacral was saying, yes, we have energy for this available. And if you follow all the things that light you up, the chances that you get in a procrastination with it are really, really low, compared to when you enter into something that actually has not lit up your sacral center, where it was only like, yeah, I could do this, or actually I don't want to do it, but I do it to please someone else, or because I think I should do it, then probably you will get in a procrastination or a lack of motivation extremely fast, because you were not designed to actually do this task, to go forward with this. And that is why things will feel frustrating and will take out a lot of energy out of your system. And that's when you will constantly feel like you're hitting a blockage and when you cannot move further. That doesn't mean that once you have decided from your sacral and you have energy for something, that every single task in whatever you're entered into will feel easy and that you will love to do it, and that every single day you have energy available for something. So the key here is to also understand that you will go through ebbs and flows in life. And specifically if your authority is emotional, meaning you have your emotional center activated, your solar plexus, that means that also your energy levels will really highly depend on which state of emotion you find yourself at the moment, which means that sometimes it could be a daily fluctuation. For some other people, it is more like a weekly or monthly fluctuation. And it's really important that you honor this as well. In an ideal world, in an ideal society, we would all be able to actually take a little bit more of rest time or downtime when simply no creativity is there, or when simply no workforce energy is there. Because then in other times, therefore, you will have much more energy and you will be so much more productive to probably do a lot of work in a very short amount of time. But if we are constantly forced to be productive and to do and go, even though we're really not feeling it, the outcome of our work will first of all not be amazing. And second of all, we will over time see how our energy declines. In the worst case, something that gave us satisfaction will bring us therefore frustration. So really check in with yourself, if you can, obviously. Do I have the energy available for something, not only for the general theme, but also for the little task in your day? And really determine your day around what is to do, and then go for what you feel the energy is available for at that day. And I'm very well aware that this is really coming from a very luxurious place, because not in every single work you have the freedom to do so. However, in that spectrum of maybe being employed somewhere and having some task, ask yourself from all the tasks, like, what is something that I feel most lit up from doing? And then starting with this task and maybe postponing something that isn't urgent to another day where you feel you have much more energy for. Let me give you an example. I'm a generator and I'm self-employed. And some days I just feel so creative and so motivated that all day long I would just record YouTube videos and shorts and Instagram content, and it goes extremely well, it goes extremely easy. And some other days I simply have no motivation to even work, and then I just let it be, because I know the output will not be great, because it doesn't come from a wholesome place, it doesn't come from energy, and it doesn't come from a place of satisfaction. So I try to schedule my days around if I have motivation, if I have energy or not. And baseline frequency is always doing the job that you truly love, because then you will generally on a baseline level have a lot of motivation and have a lot of energy to actually do the things. So always asking your sacral first if you really truly want to do something. And specifically when it comes to manifesting generator, I see a lot of them just engaging because their energy is so fast moving and so quick into so many different things that by the end it all feels so scattered, so hectic, so chaotic that you don't even really know anymore where to even start, and that leads you into procrastination. So specifically for manifesting generators, it's so important that you don't go out and initiate, but you actually let the things come to you and see first if your sacral is responding with something, because otherwise you will get so lost in so many things to do, and that easily leads into overwhelm and really having a lack of motivation altogether, and just being really numb and not being able to do the things anymore. So the key here is really to listen to your sacral, and if you're emotional, still waiting a little bit until you make your clear decision. So that's for the generator. And when we look at the projector naturally needs a lot of downtime, needs a lot of time for themselves, needs much more sleep than other types, needs much more rest than other types. And this is not procrastination, and this is not a lack of motivation. This is just your energy, and this is okay. So really taking out of yourself this idea that you need to constantly be productive and that you constantly need to push and do, because you're the ones that most likely or most easily otherwise get into burnout. So for a projector, the best thing you can actually do for your success, where you want to get to, is actually take the downtime and see that you're physically and mentally and spiritually and emotionally at a good place. Because otherwise you will be so burnt out in such a short amount of time that people cannot recognize you anymore and find you anymore. And actually, the more you take your energy back and come really to your center and to strengthen yourself, the more people can actually find you. And I know that sounds a little bit backwards, or sounds a little bit opposite to what we get told. However, this is really the key for you in order to land in your fulfilled life or into your success theme. And the more you can take your energy towards becoming magnetic, so you take all the energy back from the external of thinking you need to prove yourself, thinking you need to do more, the more actually you can create other people to see you and create invitations therefore. So taking a lot of rest and not beating yourself even up for it, because I often hear from my projector clients and friends as well that they really beat themselves up for not being able to put up with the workload on the long run, at least from a generator, because it exhausts them. And it's because you're not built for this kind of work. Also, just remember, you're not built for the typical generator jobs, the constant doing, and being in the executor role. You're here to be the leaders, you're here to be the guides, and your work quality comes through quality of your work and not through the quantity. So that's really something to remember, so you don't get into this super burned out state and this super lack of motivation that altogether will make you numb and where you cannot find your way out again. And when we come to the reflector, it is a little bit similar. So a reflector naturally needs a lot of time and needs to see and sense and feel into so many different angles before they can actually make a plan or before they can straight move forward. So for you, really taking the time over the course of minimum a month is so crucial, so you don't make fast decisions that then will bring you maybe at a point where you find yourself in lack of motivation or procrastination. And also because you're non-sacral being, non-energy beings, you also need much more rest. You need a lot more downtime. You need to really take good care of yourself so you can actually do the things that you want to do. And in an ideal society, the society would leave you time and space to make your decision and to go with the flow of life. So ideally, the more you can let go of any external pressure, any external expectation, and the more you can just trust in life that you can flow through life with so much effortless ease, the easier it will become, and the more you will feel what places give you joy, what people give you joy, what things are charging you up with energy, so you will don't even get to a place where you feel a lack of motivation or so procrastination. And for you, really also the key is that you find yourself at the right place with the right people, because in the wrong place you will not have energy and you might potentially even get super sick. And because you're always reflecting the outside, you're reflecting the external world. And that is why it's so important for you to have the right place and the right people around you that actually give you good energy and where you feel like you can be yourself and see yourself in that setting, in that environment. So that is another big key factor for you. And when we come to our manifestors, the manifestors often can feel resistance from external, feel held back by other people because other people don't understand you or don't know what you're up to, and therefore try to block you, try to hold you back, not knowingly, but in a subconscious way or in an energetic way. So this is why informing for you is so important, to let other people know what you're up to share your ideas with other people, because that will allow to you that you move freely and that you have your freedom and that you come into your internal peace, because this internal peace is really truly what you want, and therefore you can create that or get that and don't feel stuck and don't feel held back and therefore procrastinating when you inform others. You also need to remember that you're not in the executing role, so you're here to give the idea, to be the initiator of others and for your own things. And you're not the ones who's meant to be stuck in that project and followed all the way through in the execution role. And if you do so, you can feel stuck and you can feel procrastination happening, because this is not a role that you will like, and this is nothing that you actively want to do and that you have the energy for. So ideally, stick in your role to just initiate the things, so you don't feel like you have to stick in that, which will actually completely drain your energies and will cause resistance, not only for you, but also for others, and also create a lot of anger within you that gets you out of your motivation. So your motivation is ideally used if you can initiate, if you can be the spark for others, but then you can move on, and you can move on in freedom. But that requires that you communicate and that you inform, which is sometimes a little bit difficult for you, as far as I know. So yeah, these are my short little tips for each type on how to not get into procrastination so easily, how to find back your spark, find your motivation. Let me know if that resonates. If you have any further ideas for videos that you would like to hear, let me know in the comments. If you want to become a member of this channel and support my work and also find out about your purpose, I would be so happy. Also, don't forget to subscribe to hear more videos like this. And I'm sending you so much love, and bye. See you next time.